Hey everybody, I'm back. If you don't know me, I am Dr. Dreama Sloan-Kelly. And for those of you that do know me, you know I am Dr. Diva. I took a little bit of a hiatus. I had two kids finally finish college. I got one more on the way. And so I am back to talk to you at the most pristine time because you and I both know AI is taking over. And we need to understand how that is going to affect us in the clinical documentation space. My new book just came out last week on Kindle on Amazon, 9.99. You better go get it. But really goes into AI clinical documentation, but also the printed version. If you're like me, I like the writing books. The printed version just got approved today, so that is also available for purchase as well. So let's get into it. So what you are going to hear me talk about is the 80-20 rule. And I believe in the 80-20 rule with everything in life, relationships, everything. 80% you're going to get, and there's going to be this 20% that can either get you in trouble or help you out. So I created a website. It is called docsdoc.net, docsdoc.net. You can go to that website, and then that's going to have all my information as it pertains to AI. I have a newsletter that you can sign up for on that website, docsdoc.net. And I put that newsletter out once a month, and that newsletter is going to have all kinds of coding briefings, anything about AI, anything about clinical documentation, any form of change that affects your revenue cycle management, that affects your reimbursement, that affects your clinical documentation. I have it for you there. Now, who did I create docsdoc.net for? I created it for doctors, okay, because for doctors by doctors, that's me. But also, I created it for coders, billers, nurse practitioners, any mid level providers, lawyers, practice managers, executives within the healthcare industry. It is for all of you. Everybody's going to get something out of that website, as well as my recent book. So, you already know I got my trusty little notes down here so I don't miss a thing. But what I want to talk to you about today are three sections, okay? Three sections. Number one, what AI does well, that's that 80%. Number two, what it misses, that's that 20%. And then talk to you about how to manage that 80-20 framework. So, first, let's look at this real quick. And before I go on, drsloankelly.com is still there. So, definitely go there. I keep having it updated on real time, very real time, because I have a lot of webinars about to come out, and I also have coaching and all that kind of stuff that's out there as well. So definitely take a moment to go to drsloankelly.com as well. But let's talk about what AI does well. There are four things there. Okay. Now, the four categories I want you to think about is number one, NLP, natural language processing. This is how it reads notes, extracts data, catches mismatches. So if you've ever played around with Claude, you'll see that it's a really cool tool. You can upload a document in Claude, and it will break that document down in 20 seconds that would normally take us 20 minutes. And it's just a really great tool. So a lot of EMRs, a lot of medical services are using NLP and assisting to bring information, synthesize information, better said, when it comes to patient health information. The second one, ambient listening. Let me tell you, you'll hear it called A-Bridge. You'll hear it called Nuance, DAX, or Nuance DAX, Suki. It is able to capture the conversations, and it can take documentation, say where a sentence might take you 128 seconds, it'll take it down to 27 seconds. That's not bad, okay? So, I mean, being able to capture just the ambient sounds is better than even having somebody in the examination room with you trying to get that information. It's definitely better than dragging. Number three, generative AI. We hear about that all the time, right? You look at CNN, you look at, I guess it's not MSNBC anymore, but whatever. You look at any of the news shows, you look at any CNBC, we hear about generative AI. That is for drafting. It drafts the summaries, it for prior auth letters. It makes a lot of that administrative part super easy. It is beautiful when it puts it together. And then last, machine learning. So you keep hearing people say we have to teach our AI. You got to teach it, okay? And the way that you teach it is that it watches repetitive movements and watches repetitive way entries, like say if you put certain codes in or certain words, it learns from that over time. Does it learn quickly? Sometimes it does. Does it make mistakes? Yes, it does. So you always have to pay attention to that. So that is the 80%. And that's a great thing, right? 80% that it does well, hey, that's not bad. But this 20%, let me tell you, this 20%, I call it the audit gap. This is where payers are looking for your errors, and that's how they're able to come back and capture money from you or do a clawback or however you want to call it. So, AI scribes have an omission rate, and you want to make sure that you find out about that. And they also have factual inaccuracies. When you're looking at a vendor, ask them, do you know your omission rate? Do you know the factual inaccuracies? Like, do you know the percentage of that, etc.? There are four places where AI is not that good. Okay, so this is where that 20% mark falls in. MDM complexity. Now, we base all of E&M, unless it's time, but we base all of E&M on MDM complexity. It can capture the what, but it cannot capture the why. It cannot replace the physician's, role in clinical decision making, their role in documenting their clinical rationale. So it's so important. And I train doctors all the time. It's like, hey, I want you to use AI, but I need you to take it to another level. Don't just depend on it. Number two, specificity. So it'll document diabetes, but you and I both know I need to know that it's type 2 diabetes with nephropathy, stage 3 CKD on long term insulin. That's what I need to know so I can get the most specific ICD 10 code. Now, why do you want that? Because payers are using AI the same way. Non-specific ICD 10 codes may not be able to be reimbursed. So you want to make sure that your system is set up that it allows for the most specific information in the note so that you can have the most specific diagnosis code chosen. Number three, comorbidity capture does not capture it. So, hypertension, diabetes, if it's mentioned in passing, a lot of times it doesn't pick it up. Knee away, past AFib, it just doesn't hear it. It's like, oh, it doesn't have anything to do with the current issue at hand. So we're not going to really, grab that information, even though it was, passively brought up during the conversation. And then lastly, time-based elements, not doing a good job. Number one, it cannot capture your non-face to face time. And then number two, it cannot, capture sometimes a prolonged time or start and stop times accurately. So you want to be conscious of that. So I call this the 80-20 rule or the 80-20 framework. So I have a lot of groups that have asked me, what do I do? And so what I say is AI handles the 80%. Remember what I said here earlier: transcription, data extraction, first draft, pattern matching. Great. Definitely use it for that. The human handles the doctor, the coder, the biller, clinical judgment, specificity, comorbidity context, MDM, and compliance. All right. So that's going to be the critical part. That's where everything sits. That's what gets you in trouble. That's what gets you the clawback. There is 20%, that 20% holds your entire compliance risk. And I want to protect you from that. So, what are winning organizations doing? What are a lot of my clients doing right now? They're not fully automating. They're using like a hybrid system. So they are using AI in the background to capture information. They are teaching their AI systems and they're using it as a part of their EMR, but they are making sure that human element is not gone. So they're training, or I'm also training them, but they're all training their physicians and any of their providers to make sure that they edit the notes, and then they're training their coders and their billers to make sure that everything is all the codes that are reported are supported by the code. So every week, I'm pretty much going to try to come back here with a new video. I'm going to try to be good about it. That will highlight a topic. It may be AI, it may be something about coding, it may be documentation. It'll be all over the place. But what I want to do is go back to being that doc that you go to for your information as it pertains to billing, coding, documentation, and audits, because I am the girl on the front lines with that. So I want to thank you so much. Don't forget drsloankelly.com for my main website. Also, docs.net, DOCS.net. And then also you'll hear about Medical Train Right in a few, because we are building that up as well. Have a great time. Have a great evening. And until next time, I'll see you. Dr. Diva signing out.